Hey, what's going on everybody? It is PandaX Creeps here, and welcome to my very first CREEPYPASTA on the channel. So this one's a fairly recent, not fairly recent, it's a fairly well-known creepypasta. It's basically the theory of the Rugrats, and it's all basically being based off Angelica's head. So I'm going to narrate this, and then I'm going to give my thoughts at the very end. The Rugrats were really a figment of Angelica's demonic and imaginable imagination. Chucky died in 1986 along with his mother, that's why Chaz is a nervous wreck all of the time. Tommy was born in 1988, but he was a stillborn, that's why Stu is constantly in the basement making toys for the son who never had a chance to live. The Devils had an abortion in 1990, Angelica couldn't figure out whenever it would be a boy or a girl, thus creating the twins. As for all grown up, the teenage Angelica became addicted to various narcotics which further aggravated her schizophrenia, bringing her back to her childhood and thus her creation she obsessed over. Because of the time lapse between the present and the time she interacted with her creation, she made them older. Angelica was constantly taking hits of acid, so she would never have to live without her creations, who were her only company. In a judgmental world, Angelica's mum actually died of a heroin overdose in 1982, just after Angelica was born, and Drew, in his depression, married a gold digger that Angelica idolized because she fooled herself into thinking it was her actual mother, but always had the concept of her mum Cynthia, and took a Barbie doll and made it into her mother's image, wearing an unwashed orange dress and having a jacked up hair, which is why she was so attached to it. Later in life she followed her mum's footsteps with drug and everything, dying of an overdose at age 13, when All Grown Up was cancelled. The only Rugrat not to be fictional, however, was her unborn Tommy's brother Dill. However, Angelica didn't know the difference between Dill and her creations. Although Dill did not follow her commands, after endless crying and a refusal to disappear like the others did, when Angelica was angry with them, she hit him. He sustained a brain hemorrhage, which resulted in deformation. As he grew up, his damage only became more evident, and by the time he was 9, in All Grown Up, he lived an outcast, being ridiculed for his weirdness and retardation. The immense guilt over this is what led Angelica to her drug use, and which led Angelica to uncreate the Rugrats briefly until her experience with hallucinations. On the trip to Paris to find love, Chad married a woman named Kira. He was actually going to marry a different woman named Coco, but she wanted him for his money, who had a daughter named Kimmy that was torn from her because she was a cocaine addict. Angelica imagined her from Kira's stories. He lost his mind after the death of his wife and was denied that she was ever a prostitute. Upon returning to America, Chaz and Kira married and she got her green card. It was actually a really happy and romantic story. Kira continually struggled with addiction, but was relatively happy with her life in Chaz. Susie was actually Angelica's only friend, who entertained the thought of Angelica's creation for her sake. Angelica spent the last day of her life in the back of the school cafeteria, imagining friends around her, and playing with the life of her creations. So that was the Rugrats theory. There's actually a tweaked version, but I'm not going to read it, just because it's kind of similar to... there's not that much of a difference. Like always, I'll obviously link it off in the description below. So that was the first creepypasta. I'm not quite sure if I'll do more, but we'll see. But my thoughts on this is that it wasn't really backed off by evidence. I like the idea how it was like, it went for every character, even like the ones that weren't in the, I guess in the first series. So it definitely did a good job like covering every character. But that being said, there wasn't really much evidence to back it up, so probably not going to be my favourite theory if I do more. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. So thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think of that theory. And if you've got any ideas for anything else you want me to narrate, do let me know. But that's it for now. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. So thank you very much, and good night everyone.